everyone, Garfm here, and today I'm announcing the Diablo 3 Season 15 Solo Self-Found League. So, Solo Self-Found, for those of you that don't know, is a very fancy term made by the Path of Exile community, which essentially means playing only solo, and for their sake it meant also not trading, which isn't really an issue in Diablo 3. So, why did we make this league? Solo Self-Found League is a space for players that wanted to play competitively while playing purely solo, an environment to compete against other players that are playing only solo as well. So they're on a level playing field in regards to that, because we all know that grouping can give you a substantial advantage in Diablo 3. So we made the Solo Self-Found League, and for those of you who have been in our Solo Self-Found Leagues before, almost everything is remaining the same. Two major changes. One, this league is only going to be 4 weeks long. It's going to start when Season 15 starts and end 4 weeks later. And after those 4 weeks, the leaderboards will be locked in and the competition will be done. And after that point, you can group up or continue playing solo, self-found for your own enjoyment if you wish. And then the other major thing is that I'm hosting it instead of Leviathan, and with that we'll be using my Discord for the Solo Self-Found related discussion outside of the game. That's also where you can most easily contact myself or Solo Self-Found admins and a lot of the other active Solo Self-Found players. So those are the two major changes for those of you that know how this works. The submission and spreadsheets and most of the rules are all staying the same. So for those of you that want more details, you can stay and keep watching. Otherwise you can read the rules. All the links will be in the description. So why am I hosting it now instead of Leviathan? He got a new job and he doesn't have as much time now, so he opened it up to the admins to see who wanted to, if anybody wanted to host it, and none of us wanted to host it at first, so he opened it up to our community at large, the Solo Self-Found community, and nobody wanted to host it, but we wanted to keep it going. So I decided I'd try and host a shorter version because I didn't want to commit to 3 months of a league. So we decided, or I said I'd do 2 to 4 weeks, and the community wanted 4 weeks, so we'll be doing 4 weeks, and that makes pretty good sense because about 75% of the Solo Self-Found players stopped submitting their clears or stopped updating their clears after 4 weeks. And I know a lot of players in the community usually stop playing, a lot of Diablo 3 players in general stop playing after a couple of weeks as well. So, yeah, it makes sense for those that maybe weren't that interested in Solo Self-Found before. Maybe if you just want to compete for a shorter period of time, you want to try this out, that's cool. So let's jump into the league rules. It's tied to seasonal play only, so it makes sense you have to start fresh. That's the point, to not get an advantage from grouping, and non-seasonal characters are not eligible. A league season for this season is going to begin when the season begins, and it's going to last for 4 weeks. It's going to end on Sunday, October 21st for all regions, and North America ends at 5 p.m. Pacific. Europe ends at 5 p.m. I believe that's Central European Standard Time, and Asia ends at 5 p.m. Korean Standard Time. And the way we're ending the league is that you must have submitted your clears before these times for it to be counted. That seems like the easiest and fairest way for everybody's clears to get in. So even if you complete a clear before this time, but you don't submit it in time, it won't count. So make sure you give yourself enough time to fill out the submission form. It only takes a few minutes, but if you're pushing it to the very end, just pretend like the league ends at 4:55 or something. Moving on, it's only for PC, and all regions are eligible. Americas, Europe, and Asia. You can play on softcore or hardcore, and you can play on as many classes, characters, or battle tags as you want. And we have some solo self-found communities you can join if you want. You don't have to. And moving on to the rules, I don't think this is explained in there, but it sort of relates to softcore and how many classes and whatever you can play on, and the solo part. So there's 3 regions, right? And softcore and hardcore. And as you know, those stashes and paragon points don't mix between regions, and they don't mix between softcore and hardcore. So if you want to play from the start of the season and group, you can do that in a different category, let's call it. So let's say I'm playing on North America softcore, and I feel like grouping at the start of the season for whatever reason, but I decide later on I want to play solo self-found. I can do that in a different category. So let's say I still want to play on NA and get good ping, but I'll have to play on hardcore if I want to play solo self-found, because my North American hardcore stash and characters will all be fresh because I haven't played on them yet. So if you want to do grouping and solo self-found, they have to be in separate categories. If you want to just do only solo self-found, that's fine. If you don't want to play solo self-found, I'm not sure why you're still here. Yeah. So that's that. If that's confusing, then just don't group at all. Just play solo. Then you won't mess it up. Can't mess it up if you're only playing solo. Yeah, moving on. In order to be eligible, your current league seasonal progress must be fresh. So you can't group for any reason, even those like really nice things like power leveling and grouping for bounties is not allowed. No grouping. So you can't power level people, you can't share bounties, rifts, etc. And a lot of that we can't track, so it's on the honor system, except for group greater rifts. We can pretty easily check that. That's kind of how our whole system works with verifying clears. So besides group greater rifts, it's on you guys to play solo, and yeah, so there's that. You must play entirely solo for the duration, and if you want to end your league early, you can retire early. Send us an email or a message and we'll retire your clears. So we'll mark you off as retired, and then won't accept any more clears from you if you decide to start grouping after that point. As a suggestion, you should turn off the quick join function so people don't join you, because that would make you have been in a group, and like we said, no grouping for any reason whatsoever. If there's a group greater rift clear associated with your the categories you're playing in, we won't accept your clears anymore. And like I said, we won't be able to police every character or every player in the league, and it's on the honor system. So, you know, don't be a killjoy, okay? Just play solo. If you don't want to play solo, then don't play in the solo self-found league. Pretty simple. And of course, Blizzard's rules apply. No botting or use of third-party software. I'm pretty sure that's pretty obvious what those are. You can complete the weekly challenge rifts as long as you do it solo. And as far as hardcore goes, you can use your items you can use items after you die on a character, make a new character, it's fine. The solo part is on an account level within the categories that I explained earlier. The communities. Currently we have text and voice channels in Discord for people to discuss the solo self-found league, and I'll have links to that basically everywhere. Each region has an in-game community titled SSF League, and you can join those in-game to talk with other people. And we also have some clans, and if you want to create a clan for solo self-found, let us know and we can add it to this list so other people can find it more easily. So currently we have solo self-found FTW and solo self-found with some lines around it, I guess, because solo self-found was taken. How dare they? Oh yes, submissions. Okay, so this is important, and I'll just show you. That's the wrong one. Where did I had it up? This one. Okay. So, here's our submission form. So, every time you want to submit a clear for our leaderboards, you'll fill out this form. There's sort of some common sense that goes along with doing this. We ask that you don't do it every time you go up by one tier. It makes most sense to submit your clear at the end of a play session. So you sit down and play Diablo for 3 hours, and then you submit your best clear after that. And you don't have to submit it after every play session if you don't want to. If you want to attempt to hide your scores or hide your clears until the very last day of the league, you can, but the leaderboards are public. We'll probably see you at the top if you're pushing really hard anyways. So, email address. This is the email address to send inquiries about the league to as well. The date that you did the Greater Rift clear on, so it's going to be after the 21st because that's when the season starts. Your battle tag, you have to include the numbers, please. Your region, your mode, your class. Paragon, did we make that a required thing? I don't know. I think we did. So I could just try submitting without it. Your Paragon level, the Greater Rift clear you did, the time you did it in, and a screenshot. So the screenshot that we ask that you submit is very specific, and we won't verify your clear unless you submit it like this. So you go to the current season, you hover over the clear that you want to submit. So in this case, Solo Crusader, you hover over that and take the screenshot while it's hovered so that we can see this drop down thing, because this will show us your battle tag and the tier, the date you did it, the time you did it in, and this page also shows us your other clears. And if it's too full, we can still go in game and check your profile as well. But in this case, if this was a solo self-found submission, we'd deny it because he has group clears on it. But just an example, this is the screenshot. This is how you should take the screenshots. If you don't take them like this, we won't verify your clears. And then if you have a video of your clear and you want to include it, you can do that. And if you stream, you can include your stream link. And that's how you do the submission form. So it doesn't take too long. You just have to make sure you put in the correct stuff in the fields, and you should be all good to go. And as far as the emails go, those are not posted in the public spreadsheet. Those are only visible to the admins to contact you if there was something wrong with your submission, usually just the screenshot issues. Okay, moving on. Verification. So we go in and check that the numbers all match up and that there's no group clears on your account, and in very specific instances, if someone has seemingly way too much Paragon or too much time played, we'll check that too, but usually we're just checking the clears. And frequently asked questions, is there pre-registration? No. Like I said, you can keep your clears hidden the entire league if you want to. All you have to do to enter the league is submit your ranking. So yeah, but the community we all like that live, so, well, as close to live as possible of an updating leaderboard so you can see how everybody's doing. So let's not have everybody try to ninja the first place spots. Thank you. Are there rewards? Not really. I decided to give people custom battle tag flares for their previous seasons, so top 3 in softcore and top 3 in hardcore got some cool flares, so you'll probably see those in the leaderboards. It's PC only. Why? We don't have anybody to admin for console. If there's someone out there that wants to, let us know, I guess. I don't feel like there's very many people that would want to compete on console, but feel free to prove me otherwise. Is there a minimum Grey Rift I should hit before submitting? I covered this already. No, but it would make it a lot easier for us if you submitted only once at the end of your play sessions. Can I submit rankings with different classes or accounts? Yes, you can. Only your best clear is going to show up on our spreadsheet. The old ones get replaced, just like the in-game leaderboards. Conquests, we're not doing conquests right now. You can rebirth your character. And can I group after the league ends? So that's specific to this league because it's not going to end when the season ends. And yes, after the league ends, you can group and play however you want after the league is over. And I think that covers pretty much everything. I hope you guys try out the Solo Self-Found League, and I wish you all the best of luck in Season 15, however you decide to play it. Have a good day, everybody. I'll catch you later.